Good evening. My name is Sherry Mills. Welcome to the launch of Louisville Freedom Summer. Before we begin tonight's program, I want to share a little housekeeping details with you. If you exit the center doors and go to your left, that is the restrooms. That is also a registration table for voters registration, NAACP, and the League of Women Voters. They are providing that for us. And so, next, I would like to introduce to you Dr. John Paul McGee. Dr. McGee is the Assistant Chair of Piano at Berklee College of Music and Professor at Simmons College of Kentucky. He is also national recording artist and the creator of a new piano genre called gospel jazzical that combines gospel, jazz, and classical music. Let us welcome Dr. John Paul McGee.
Good evening, everyone. I know y'all can't see me, but I need to be able to hear y'all a little better than that. Good evening, everyone. Y'all having a good Friday? That's good to hear. We're going to make a little bit of music. I'm excited to be here for the launch of Louisville Freedom Summer. Thank you, Dr. Cosby and Miss Sherry Mills, for the invitation to come. And we're just going to have some fun. Is that all right? We're going to have a little bit of fun. Oscar Peterson has a song called Hymn to Freedom, and I'm going to play a little bit of that. Thank you. That was Hymn to Freedom by Oscar Peterson. Since they asked for jazz tonight, let's go to something I think we'll be a little bit familiar with. Thank you so much. Thank you. That was a little bit of Summertime. Y'all enjoying yourselves out there? Let's go here. Let's see if y'all remember this one. Thank you so much. God bless the child that has his own. I think I got time for one more. Little Stevie Wonder, all right tonight? You do little Stevie? All right. Let's see what Stevie gonna talk to us about. Come on, snap with me right here. Ready? I mean, y'all gotta keep the beat for me. Let me hear you. Can I play one more chorus of it? Some of y'all that know the words, you should sing it and snap it with me at the same time. Love's in me. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. John Paul McGee. And now, this next person, only the Boston Celtics has more titles than he does. But some of you know him as Metro Councilman. Some of you know him as Professor. And tonight, I would like to introduce him as Director of Community Engagement and also organizer Louisville Freedom Summer. Ja'Cory Arthur.
Thank you so much for spending your Friday evening with us. Thank you to Director Sherry Mills. Thank you, Dr. John Paul McGee, for grounding us in the summer. I'm excited about the fact we're about to watch a documentary because in this day and age, with TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, we watch clips of things and we don't really get to sit with them and understand them and fully process them. So tonight is a chance for us to just slow down for a minute and go back in time 60 years ago this summer to the 1964 Mississippi Freedom Summer Project. In Mississippi, our ancestors were not allowed to vote, or there was some sort of retaliation on their homes, on their jobs, and worst case scenario, on their lives. So to fight against that, the kids, as Ella Baker used to call them, but the kids, these college students, decided that they were going to fight back against it. You had an organizer named Bob Moses who worked with locals in Mississippi and called on colleges across the country, and mostly white students came to Mississippi to organize a voter registration campaign. And in the midst of that campaign, they learned so much about the reality of the United States of America for Black Americans. And they dealt with the dangers of fighting that oppression in Mississippi. Dangers that were so evil. One of the first days that the campaign started, 3 of the volunteers, 3 of the organizers, Andrew Goodman, Michael Schwerner, and James Chaney, were kidnapped. And later on, we found out that they were murdered by the Mississippi KKK. But instead of using those deaths and the threats of violence, churches and schools being burned, homes being bombed and shot up, instead of using those evils to give up, all the organizers of Freedom Summer used that as reasons to get up, use it as reasons to show up, to stand up, to fight back, because they wanted better, not only just for Mississippi, not only just for Black Americans, but for our entire country. And they forced the federal government and eventually the state and local governments to live up to the promises of American values. So as we go back in time and we witness that history tonight, I want you to think about what's the same, think about what's changed, and think about the blueprint that our ancestors left for us, because this documentary, this movement, is probably one of the most refined and incredible examples of what happens when we form a movement for change that is anchored in being multiracial, all sorts of different races coming together, multi-generational, people of different ages coming together, and multi-dimensional, where people of different skill sets come together to fight for change. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1964